Hello, you wonderful humans. Welcome to your monthly numerology video on Radiant Reality. So, I am Raphael. I am an astrologer, a tarot reader, and a numerologist and an energy worker. For those of you that don't know, for those of you that are continued subbies, you know Rafi loves you. And what I'm doing here is getting into the grit, right, of the numerology of this month. Now, you're going to get your overview, and then also you're going to get your breakdown for your specific life path. But before we get into that, one thing that I want to mention here is the way that I tend to do these is um, I obviously offer astrology readings, I offer tarot readings, and I also give you numerology readings. And what's really important to consider here is that each one of these is going to give you a different slice, right? So, as it stands, you are a person of mind, body, soul, and spirit. And your astrology tends to favor your ascendant sign. Tarot tends to favor your sun sign. Numerology is really about your own grand timing with your own rhythms, frequencies, energy, and vibrations. And obviously, what's tied into that is your energetic self as well. So each one of these is giving you a specific yet unique slice and snapshot of how the month ahead is going to really work for you. So I encourage you to watch your astrology for your ascendant, to watch your tarot for your sun sign, and also to watch your life path readings and predictions, because this is going to give you how things are unfolding for you with your own energetic, numerological, vibrational sequence, right? How this is going to unfold for you. So, with that said, let's get straight into it. So, the month of July is it's an interesting month because it's a universal 7 month, but it's a special type of seven. It's what we call a karmic debt number. So it's a 16/7 effectively, right? So this month has is going to carry some extreme undercurrents. We've got a karmic wave of change that's really going to align with your soul's spiritual reckoning and also potentially your, and I dare say I use this word, but your purpose. The question really isn't about what's changing, but what's ready to be aligned with the truth of your own spirits, your own spiritual self. Now, you're being asked to really look honestly at the cycles and the patterns of the life that you've built. Where are they unbalanced? Where have they become a rut that's disguised as stability, right? This is a time of deep reflection, not surface level journaling, but really a soul level audit of the life structures that you have committed to because they are things that you do consistently. With the seven energy resonating to the same frequency as Neptune energy, the real inquiry becomes what spiritual energy is running through your days and does it match what you know to be true for yourself, right? At that deep sort of inner core level. This is where logic meets intuition, where spirit meets soul. The conscious and the subconscious are going to collide this month. And in that clash, clarity is going to come forward, right? Your greatest currency this month, truthfully speaking, is knowledge. Knowledge of self, knowledge of truth, knowledge of what no longer serves you. Gather it, guard it, let it empower you. That's what all of this is about, right? Whether it's a new direction that's opening up for you, a skill that you're meant to master, an unspoken truth that's kind of like arising or bubbling up from your subconscious to the surface. Power this month really belongs to those that are willing to learn, right? And because this is a karmic debt vibration, that 16/7 that I was talking about earlier, be mindful of what you are investing in energetically, emotionally, spiritually, right? The choices that you're making at this moment in time are going to ripple far into the future. So, my three tips for you for this month for really finding that balance and digging into it, or really tapping into your own personal gnosis. One, keep your feet on the ground, right? Deal with the facts, then check those facts with your spirit. All right. Two, find the warmth, whether it's with people, whether it's places or passions. Seek the warmth in all its forms. That's what's going to be your anchor, right? What is it that makes you feel warm in your soul, in your spirit, in your emotions, in your mind? When I talk about warmth, I'm not necessarily talking about like from like a thermal perspective. I'm talking about, like some people, like it's just nice to be around them because they're naturally very warm. That's what I'm talking about. Find the warmth this month. Number three, balance the hermit mode with connection. Yes, introspection and spending time in self-analysis and time decompressing from other people's stuff is going to be very vital this month. But so is having a sounding board. So is having somebody to chuck certain things around, whether that's a mentor, a therapist, a trusted friend. These things are going to be essential this month, right? So find that voice, find that person that you know you can speak to on a level that you can really chuck things about with. And then finally, this month, the signature question of this month that is really being asked of you is, where in my life have I mistaken comfort for alignment? All right, I'm going to say that again. Where in my life have I mistaken comfort for alignment? Once you really dig into that question and you answer and you understand what the answer is for you, I'm telling you, everything else is going to really flow that much better, that much easier. With that said, stay tuned while we get into your personal life path breakdown. Hello, you wonderful Life Path 6 person. Let's get straight into how July is going to show up to treat you guys in all of these different areas of your life this month. So, when it comes to your money this month, it's really inviting you into a deeper, more emotionally intelligent relationship with your finances. It's not really just about income, it's about value, it's about worth, it's about responsibility. You might feel pulled this month to take care of somebody else financially, or maybe feel extra pressure to do the right thing when it comes to your resources. That's going to be a part of your path, but make sure you're not confusing generosity this month with self-sacrifice. Where is an obligation not actually yours to meet? This is what you're being asked to really consider. What does reciprocity look like when it comes to your money life, when it comes to your money story? Are you supposed to, or are you just doing the supporting, right? Are you being supported in return? This is a really beautiful month for you to get new boundaries about what you give and, more importantly, why, right? Wherever there's been any sort of manipulation of the heartstrings in order to get you to open up the purse strings, pay attention to that kind of energy this month and who or where it might be coming from. Money that flows from guilt never grows, all right? And I want you to really be intentional about that. Give with your heart, absolutely. That's who you are naturally, but keep your balance. Check check it. All right, I'm just going to say that. Now, when it comes to love, this month, love is not light and playful. It's confronting, it's grounding, and at times it may even feel a little bit heavy. You're being asked to take a look at the foundation of your romantic life. What is it built on? Whether that's fantasy or reality. What's been held together by duty alone? Like, are you there just because you feel like you have to be? This is about structure, it's about karma, long lasting stability, and sustainability of your relationship. It's also a time for you to ask yourself, what kind of love are you building? Like, if you're single, be honest. Are you actually available for something real, or are you just looping on old patterns, right? And what I mean by this is, lots of people say, like, oh, I'm tired of being on my own and all the rest of it. And then when you speak to them, they're like, yeah, well, I work 14 hours a day and I don't have any pets because I need things to be really low maintenance. So, where in your life are you actually intentionally building space into your experience for a partner to slot into that? Do you want somebody that's just going to show up for the hour a day that you're willing to grace them with in your presence? Or are you actually thinking about how you can really be present and build a life with somebody, right? If you're partnered, this is a moment to reinforce the core, talk about the stuff that you avoid, fix the cracks in the wall. Love is about showing up with maturity, not just emotion. And it might not feel sexy, right, this month, but it's deeply powerful. This is the stuff that solidifies the foundations so that the relationship can actually grow. If you're willing to do the work, you'll come out stronger for it, clearer and far more connected both to yourself and to your partner. In terms of your health this month, health is really your health journey in particular is really about balance, security, and sustainability. You might be tempted to overdo it, so watch out for that. Big goals, big shifts, big declarations. But what your body is actually looking for is rhythm and routine, not extremes. It's a really powerful time for you to get back to basics, nourishing food, consistent movement, meaningful rest, even if that means active recovery. Pay attention to your emotional well-being, right? The stress that you absorb from others can sometimes be showing up as fatigue, tension, low mood. You can't pour from an empty cup, as we say, right? And so you're not really going to be any use to anybody if you're running on fumes. Fill yourself first and then share the overflow. All right, fill up your own cup first, and then when it's overflowing, pour into others. When it comes to your career this month, this is a stabilizing energy for your career, but only if you allow it to be, right? Things that might sort of start to feel a bit more structured, but that doesn't necessarily mean rigid. It's about you putting systems in place. It's your opportunity to refine what you've been building, right? Whether that's the systems, the boundaries, even that part's going to be really important, the workflow, the communication around these things, and how those things intersect. Start by really getting into this and asking yourself, what do I need to feel calm, competent, and clear in my work? Right? That's going to be your North Star. That's going to generate the direction you should be going in for yourself. You might want to find, you might also find that you're thrust into some kind of leadership opportunity. And while that might feel like a little bit too much, you're a lot more ready for it than I think you realize. Be sure to consider your team, right? The more you get in the trenches, the more respect you're going to earn this month, especially. Roll up your sleeves, get your hands in, get stuck in, right? Lead by example, and they will absolutely follow you into the pits if it must be. Now, when it comes to your warnings this month, be really mindful of emotional martyrdom, taking on burdens that were never really yours to carry. Just because you can fix something doesn't necessarily mean that it's your job to do so. All right. And sometimes when we do that, we actually rob people of their ability and also their, and I say this in the nicest way, but their karma to deal with whatever the problem or issue is that's arisen. Be aware of the resentment that could bubble up for your helpfulness, especially this month, right? Are you creating peace or are you just avoiding conflict? This month, get really serious about the practice of loving detachment, right? It's kind of like when, with parents, when their kids get to a certain age, instead of rushing over every time they get hurt, you kind of have to stand back to let them realize, like, okay, I'm going to fall over from time to time and it's going to suck. And actually, mum and dad are not always going to be there, right? So I'm going to be all right. I'm going to self-soothe. I'm going to figure this out. Speak your boundaries this month before you hit a breaking point. Self-abandonment is not service, right? Suffering, as the Buddhists say, there's nothing noble about suffering. There's really not. And sometimes that suffering comes because we abandon what we want or need for ourselves, or we deny ourselves so that we can give to others. Sometimes it's noble, sometimes it's really not. Above all else, watch out for extremes this month, emotionally, mentally, physically, whether it's overthinking, whether it's overgiving, overspending, overindulging. Too much of anything this month is probably likely to backfire in a way that you really don't want or need. So keep that in mind. Stay present, stay balanced, stay clear. Okay. Now, if you would like to take this deeper and you want to learn a little bit more about some of this numerology stuff, I've got a free numerology PDF that you can download. There's a link in the description box below. It's packed with insights on your life path, on your personal year cycles. It's going to show you how your energy is really coded for growth and also alignment. And it's going to help you gain some clarity. Now, if you think to yourself, you know what, I want even more of that, book a one-to-one numerology session with me. We're going to get into your numbers. We're going to build you a strategy based on your energy, frequency, and vibration for the next 3 months. Let's map your soul's mission and help you build your life around it. All right. With that said, whether I do or don't see you at my table. I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic month. Take care, and I'll see you soon.